throwing explosives, like firework-looking explosives. All like the people were out running, and there was about probably 25, 30 cop cars. But that cop car lighting on fire because of the explosives was insane.
Hold up. Those are makeshift bombs being tossed at law enforcement officers? That's not rebellion. That's a warfare on our streets. And these kids, 18, 19, they're trained by chaos, empowered by weak leadership. The question is, who's really pulling the strings?
Boston cops under attack when a street takeover descends into chaos. At one point, agitators shoot fireworks at a squad car, causing it to burst into flames. Look at that, with an officer trapped inside. Now, as the crowd continued to wreak havoc, two suspects, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old, were arrested and charged with assaulting a police officer.
Boston PD calls it a coordinated attack. Let that sink in for a minute, folks. 30 cruisers surrounded, one torched, officers trapped inside. This isn't a random mischief. This is what happens when discipline drops, order is defunded, and anarchy gets glorified. When justice feels optional, chaos becomes the culture.
President of the Boston Police Union says his officers were always targets.
It has happened the last couple of years on a single incident or maybe a couple of incidents through the summer where it used to be drag racers would come in. They'd come in 1, 2, 3 in the morning, separate communities, spin the tires, make a bunch of smoke, and then go on their way. And we would monitor them, rightfully so. But what happened last weekend got out of control. It went through 4 different communities, ended up here at a couple of locations in Boston. And each location that they went to in this past incident, it appears as though they got more aggressive. And when they ended up in the downtown South End section of Boston, that pretty much, in our opinion, looked premeditated. They knew what they were going to do, and they were hell-bent on attacking police officers.
2 suspects in custody, both teenagers. You tell me, are these kids victims? Or are they volunteering for cultural war? Governor Haley says 0 tolerance. Sounds tough. But words don't stop bullets. Action does. And where was the energy when it mattered the most?
Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey pledged to put an end to this dangerous trend.
Anyone who engages in that conduct will be found and will be held accountable to the furthest extent of the law. I just want to be really clear that we have 0 tolerance for this in the state. Some of the perpetrators are from Massachusetts. Other perpetrators are coming into Massachusetts. But whether you're in Massachusetts or you think about coming to Massachusetts, you are not welcome to engage in that conduct at any time, in any place, anywhere in this state.
But lighting a cop car on fire in Boston was just the finale for these vandals. Earlier in the night, crowds at other street takeovers across the state shot fireworks at cops, almost hit an officer with a possible stolen car, and blocked crucial roads leading to a hospital.
And there it is, the echo of 2020, the bail funds, the confusion that told a generation, law doesn't matter if you're angry enough. Now, the anger's evolved into something organized. We're not looking for protesters anymore. We're looking for practice runs.
John, I wonder where this attitude and this disrespect for police comes from. And I started thinking about it, and I think back to 2014, 2015, some of the narratives that were sown during the Obama administration around Michael Brown, hands up, don't shoot. And then Obama's DOJ comes out and says, hey, nope, nothing to see here. That was lawful self-defense. Kamala doubled down on the false narrative many years later. I bring that up because people have been taught, it's been sown in their head politically to disrespect police, disrespect law enforcement. And we know the bad apple in law enforcement is the rare exception. Right. These are heroic men and women.
Yeah, cops have a very, very difficult job. And I have a bunch of friends who are cops. I've got friends who are cops during riots. I've got friends who are cops at the point that you're talking about in our country where, unfortunately, just the mood against police went way, way bad. I remember a friend of mine was taking his daughter to soccer practice, and he got off his shift, and he was in uniform. And people at soccer practice were like looking at him, giving him side eye. Somebody walked up and made a comment to him. And they already have a difficult job enough as it is dealing with all of these things that you saw in the video, that, like, you need that support from the officials. And of course, now the governor of Massachusetts seems to be saying the right things, but how are they actually going to back it up? You know, the mayor of Boston has been very anti-police.
People are saying, give cops military gears. Parents have failed the kids. Governors, they're all talk. Yeah, I feel that. This just isn't a Boston issue. It's a canary in the coal mine issue. Because if we don't fix this mindset now, next time it won't be fireworks. It'll be something worse. You guys bring the heat in these comments. Keep them coming. Drop your thoughts below. I would love to hear what you have to say. And if you're here now, hit that subscribe button so that we don't miss this and the algorithm pushes it out to more people who needs to hear it.
Words out of my mouth. As you look at this, Molly, I mean, these are violent scenes. And you have Governor Maura Healey saying, we have a zero tolerance policy. Well, really? When Boston's mayor, Michelle Wu, has repeatedly bucked Tom Homan, trying to play the strong woman, we won't work with ICE.
Well, you know, you're right that these anti-police narratives took root more than a decade ago, but they really got going during the BLM riots in 2020. And we saw there just an actual agenda to decrease law and order on city streets, to remove police officers. And this wasn't just supported by the Democrat Party and the media, but also corporations, which I think we should remember gave $100 billion to the BLM movement. Criminals and Antifa and other left-wing terror groups understand that to gain political control, you actually need to control the streets. And so it's not surprising that we're seeing these problems in both of these areas. And Portland has, to your point, John, has actually helped some of these criminals and Antifa networks think about how to avoid accountability for what they're doing to the city.
This wasn't a street takeover. It was a test run to see how far chaos can be pushed before it breaks. Every officer target tonight is a reflection of where the culture is headed and where the leadership has failed. You can't blame poverty, parenting, or politics. But the truth, we built this storm, and it's coming. It's coming for every city that lets emotion outrun law. If you made it this far, if you were one of the real ones, drop your comments below so I know where do you stand in this order of chaos. If this shook you, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Comment your take. Are you for protecting cops or a system broken? I'd love to hear what you have to say. You know, I read every one of my comments. And until we meet again, please remember to stay informed and engaged. Have a good one.